I'm going to call the meeting in order. I want to welcome everybody, all three of you, four. We'll start with the prayer, then the pledge. Heavenly Father, we just come to you today. Thanksgiving coming up, and we have so much to be thankful for, our families and our village. We've got a great community. We just pray all the decisions that need to be made tonight will be the best of the community. Give everybody wisdom. This I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Barth.
Here.
Bassett.
Here.
Klepper.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
2 absent.
2 absent.
So we can vote on the bills, things like that, right?
And abstain.
So 2 can, it'll be all right?
No.
No.
We'll have to do them next time.
Okay. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes on November the 7th. Any additions or corrections, questions?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second. Roll call.
Who's the second? Charlie. Bassett.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Barth.
Yes.
Klepper.
Yes. Approval of the bills. Any questions?
We just, earlier before, we asked if Cheryl could break down. She said she ran the wrong report to figure out what they're all for.
Yeah.
Have a breakdown, so she was gonna do that for next meeting.
Okay. I had a couple, but it can wait. So we can't vote on it, so no use even making a motion. Can they wait 2 more weeks to pay?
Yeah.
Okay. Boards and commissions, HIX-TV minutes from October the 15th in the packet. Anybody got any questions on those? We've got Bill here, can answer them. Self-explanatory, it's pretty good minutes. Council committee reports. Ordinance committee met November the 8th. That's in the packet. Taylor, you were there.
Yeah, I can run through it. Basically, you guys got the first drafts of the ordinances in the last meeting minutes. It was a little premature. We still had a few discussions. We took all of our notes and discussion and sent them over to Troy, and Troy's supposed to be drafting those. I'm not sure where he's at with getting those completed to present to council, but really, it's nothing much beyond what we had discussed in previous and what you guys were looking at the last draft. So.
Okay. Any comments? Finance committee met November the 10th.
Yeah, we had a long meeting, about 3.5 hours. Discussed pretty much a lot of different line items. Talked about different raises, percentages, and Cheryl was gonna run numbers, and she sent them to us early this week, or the end of last week. So we might still need to meet again, if you think, Mr. Barth, or?
I would like to.
Yes, I would too. So we're probably gonna have another meeting before the next meeting. Yeah.
Schedule that tonight.
Yeah, we'll schedule that for the meeting if we can. But yeah, we went over a lot of stuff, but we still have some more questions. We got some things answered, but so we'll meet again.
So are there any major changes? I mean, are we still fine as far as getting everything approved by the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
So we'll still have second reading tonight?
Yes.
Okay, any other questions for the finance committee? Okay, administrators report. Corey?
I don't really have anything to add except for the wellfield update. And I did email everybody that the numbers that are going to be changing for that project.
I see they're drilling out there today.
Yeah, started drilling last week. That's for
Oh, did
the
they?
supply well for the water to feed the machine to
8, 9.
Okay.
do 8 and 9, yes.
We've had good weather, besides a little snow, but
I'll interject. Water sewer did meet last Monday. I owe the minutes to Cheryl. Apologize. Basically, we just did a recap on upcoming projects for the next year, kind of where we stand as far as the water tower being constructed next year, water main replacement projects coming up on, it's Cornelia Street, right, Corey?
Cornelian Rock, yep.
That's kind of the big water project, and then the Maple Lane separation project, so.
Okay.
Just kind of touch base on all those. Just believe, we don't have final approval, right? Well, it's all been discussed as far as, we think it's gonna be approved as far as long-term control plan.
Yeah, EPA has told me, I got it in an email where they just said, go ahead and
Yeah,
pursue that
so
project, so.
that's about it, and I'll get the meeting minutes to Cheryl.
Okay.
I do have something I put together I didn't send out. Now that we're all done with leaf season, if you guys want to know some of the numbers that we had done. We've got multiple places that we haul our leaves to. And you guys have all seen the trucks, so the boxes, they hold quite a bit of leaves. We ended up hauling 101 loads of leaves out. We had a total of 547 and a quarter man hours to do this. Labor cost was $9,328.17, and we went through $2,101.13 worth of fuel. So $11,429.30 what it cost to do leaves for about a month.
Okay, town looks good. Any questions for Corey? Okay, solicitor's report, Troy's not here, so I'll read the two. Second reading of ordinance 2022-10 by caption only to establish appropriations for 2023. Any questions yet on those? That one? Second reading ordinance 2022-11 by caption only to establish pay rates for 2023. Any comments on that one?
I'm assuming the budget can handle the increase in wages.
That's one thing we want to talk about the next finance meeting, because
That's
we
what-
just seen the numbers, we haven't talked about it since then.
Yeah,
so-
I wasn't sure where the last meeting kind of left off.
Yeah, we between the 3% and 6%, and we want to see where that put us at for all the total numbers, so.
And this one does have 6% in it.
Yep.
I just have a question. So I still don't see anything allocated for pool. So if the splash pad gets up and running, where would the funds come for operations of that go?
It is, and which one was it in?
For new pool or for the
No,
existing?
for the, sorry, for the splash pad. With the splash pad, if there's, with the likelihood that that may get up and running, where are the funds gonna come to operate that?
Question.
So you're going to discuss that at the next meeting?
Yeah, we can, because we didn't have anything budgeted for the pool, but we would have operational costs for the splash pad.
Okay.
Chemicals and such, that was just one of the things I had.
Okay, any other comments? Department heads, police chief, Chief Denning.
If I have anything.
Any luck on filling any positions?
I know that feeling.
Did it.
If I could find it here. So we'll be participating in the 11th Annual Lights for Lives. Starts tomorrow at 0600. It's basically an enforcement blitz for 48 hours. It starts tomorrow morning at 6 and ends at 6 a.m. on the 24th.
What exactly does that mean, enforcement blitz?
It's safety, enforcing traffic and safety
Just
issues.
raised
so-
presence, essentially? Or an
No, it
increased
might-
presence?
It'll probably be citations. So, we did it last year. It didn't work out real well for us because of the times and stuff that we're kind of busy doing other stuff, so we can't get to participate. I'm not calling anybody in extra to do it, so it's what our road units are working and stuff, so. That's all I have.
Okay. Any questions for the chief?
I know I had checked with the chief, Christmas cruise through, we were talking, give me a call last week.
I haven't reached out to the sheriff.
I know. Just in case the town gets overcrowded that night for the fireworks, December 11th. I checked with the chief, and I think he was gonna work with the sheriff's department and the cruise through people and kind of set up maybe a preliminary, post kind of thing in case things get backed up and overcrowded.
Has the cruise through, like, have they touched base at all as far as like a parking plan or anything like that?
Yeah, I do that actually. Reached out to different businesses in the community and alternative parking.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to go park other places, and once the fireworks are over and there's an all clear from the fire department, I know they always help with this. Once there is an all clear at the fairgrounds, then they release the people through the cruise through, and then the parking lot kind of opens up, and then people can kind of come from other parts of town and get in line to do a drive-through stuff. So kind of helps a little bit with the congestion down there, but we would encourage people, come down to the fairgrounds, and if it's not backed up, they can get in and lined up there, of course, but if they can't, then they can park. We've checked with quite a few businesses in town, and they all give it.
You're gonna have like a parking plan posted on like social media and things?
There's actually a flyer going out. I think they put it on Facebook. Then we put signs out in designated parking areas. So the stories in the paper and stuff like that. So
Okay.
we started it last year, and I know with the fire department and the chief and the police and the deputies that we didn't have a real big influx of people like we did, 2 years ago. That was kind of unprecedented, but in case things do get backed up, something, you might have, I won't say the word, but if you do have something to back up traffic flow, then there's some other places people can go.
I'm a big fan of how this stuff goes.
What's the hours, so everybody knows? You don't know when it starts?
And there.
When it's dark?
It started, right? I mean, it started this weekend.
Oh, the cruise, yeah, the cruiser, I believe, starts either, is it Thursday night, yeah.
Okay,
Thanksgiving.
then every night till
Yeah.
around Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. So get the word out. Okay. Anything else? That was fire, EMS, Scott?
I'd like to thank everybody that helped support our feather bingo. We had a good turnout, raised over $9,000 for the department. We'll be buying a battery-operated JAWS combination tool. It's a cutter spreader combination tool. So electric, yep.
A good turnout, very nice.
Children's Christmas applications are out. If you need one, get it picked up, filled out, turned back in.
What's the deadline for that, for people to get?
I didn't bring it with me, I'm not sure. And I think that's about it.
Any questions for the chief?
You seen the truck going around, it gets inspected by the dealer tomorrow. If it gets passed, they have to get it shipped over to his place at Cridersville, down by Lima, and then we'll go inspect it there. So, should be here before long.
Okay. It's been, what, a year and a half?
It's been a couple of years.
Couple of years? That's what happens when you get grant money, it just takes forever.
Yep,
Shortages.
grant money and COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for the chief? Park director, I'm guessing everything's shut down.
It is.
Guess Corey would know. Okay. Fiscal officer report, Cheryl.
Mine's really short this time. You have your fund status, police department collections report, and I put in a copy of my estimated resources that's already been sent into the auditor.
Okay. Any questions for Cheryl? Okay, my report, happy Thanksgiving to the village. It's a good time of the year, family, and I hope things go well and don't eat too much. But if you do, I guess it'll be all right. But it's a big day. Families get together, so. And that's all I have
I've just got
for this council.
just a couple things. There's
Okay.
a community Thanksgiving on Thursday out at the gathering place. Welcome to any and all people. Then just encourage everybody to go out and shop small Saturday, support our local businesses. And I think that was all I had. But
Okay.
I wanted to ask Joel, how's things going at the sewer plant?
That's what he's here
No.
for.
Huh?
That's what he's here for.
Yeah, it's going. A bunch of things. We just finished up disinfection season at the
Okay.
end of October. Shut down the lights. So we still have some more work to do to them this next year. We found some more issues.
Okay.
So we can wait till next year to incur that cost. We found a low level control is not working correctly.
Okay.
So we have to have a company come in after mock it up to make it work properly, because what we found, it was in the main board, and it can cost thousands. So they can get around that, and it's gonna cost us a whole lot less. So, but that's done. Pretty much almost everything's been through the plant. We still have a few things to finish up. Our major hurdle right now is our solids, getting rid of our biosolids.
Okay.
So we dumped one tank this year when I got here. It was aged well, would not decant anymore. You couldn't get any liquid off the top. So what I mean by that is it thickens up enough when your normal process, you gotta waste out. So every day you store biosolids, every single day. So if you get behind on that, your plant starts to back up as well. So anywhere in the state of Ohio, your biosolids, what you produce, every plant, if you don't take care of it, will have issues. I wanted to preface that with that. When I came here, both tanks, they were dropping the one, and the other one was, you couldn't get any more water off. So we can't stop wasting, that's the thing. You have to waste every single day, or else you're gonna back up your plant. So we had to switch tanks, try to drop the other one, so you're filling up the other one. So I say all that to where this tank got full, okay, we dropped this one. Now we ran into blower issues where we had damaged lines down in the tank. And what happened was the blower could no longer aerate that tank.
Okay.
So we dropped this other tank, so we had to transfer over. And what we're doing now is trying to get this tank empty, filling back up, but now we've run into weather issues. I know it sort of sounds confusing. It's just what happened since I got here to now. So we're trying to find somewhere to put these solids to get this tank completely empty to fix our issues. We got it low enough to find nearly all of our diffusers are blown out in the bottom. We have busted lines. Even today, over the weekend, we can't work on all of it because we can't get the solids out. So we had a few more busted lines over the weekend. So I've made what seems like 10,000 phone calls to try and get rid of our sludge. I'm working with local farmers to try to get rid of it. So I have some leads there. So we're trying to make a way to get rid of it.
what's the long-term plan? Like, what's in a ideal situation, where do those solids go?
Ideal situation would be one, either the landfill, another treatment plant, an anaerobic digestion plant, or would be on the, so I said land or landfill. So you got those four options. So right now, we just got rid of 8 roll-offs, what we had in our beds. So we've been putting to those beds all year since I got here. So we ran into where it's not drying fast enough. And if you can't get it dried enough, you're wasting your money when you take it to the roll-off. You take it to the landfill.
Because you're paying for the moisture.
You're paying for the moisture. So that's one of our downfalls, is those open air drying beds, because it rains on it, it gets wet, you can never dry it out fully. So we finally got some of that out, and right now I'm working on getting out some of the liquid. The farmers will take both. One of them's a little reluctant to take the liquid, but they'll take it. So where I'm working with them, I'm just waiting on them right now. because I said, got the paperwork. One of the farmers has already been approved with the EPA. We just need to do updated testing. The other one has to be approved through the EPA. And so it's just a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of testing in order to say, green light, let's go. So we're doing what we can.
So is that the long-term solution? Is basically what is the?
Long-term would be some form of getting ahead of schedule. So those tanks should never be both full. So each year, you're gonna cycle one and off. That'd be long-term. At the end of 1 year, vice versa, you're gonna drop one and let one fill. So you're gonna switch them back and forth, keep them constantly cleaned, inspected, make sure everything's up to date. Long control plan, I spoke with Corey a little bit about this. I still gotta go through it all, would be another form of solids management. So getting away from the open air beds because it's gonna hurt us long-term. It's already hurting us right now. So that would be long-term.
Thank you very much.
And those tanks, those holding tanks, like he was saying, should go empty every year. You clean them, you inspect them. As far as we know, those tanks haven't been emptied since 2016. Now, if you had to guess how much sludge was in the bottom of those tanks, how deep, how thick was that sludge?
The sludge was probably 2 to 3 feet thick. We couldn't get it pumped out. We ran out of room. So there's spots where you had dead spots because those blowers run on timers. So every time it shuts off, if there's a broken diffuser, broken line, solids go back in the line, okay? Plugs it up. So there's dead spots, like Corey was saying, 2 to 3 feet of solids in there. So, and what's happening is when we have other things to do, we're trying to devote our time to it. We're trying to go back and forth, trying to get other things done at the same time.
Right.
So we're trying to make as much progress as possible. We're gonna dedicate the majority of tomorrow to try and keep cleaning that tank out. But we can't, if we run into the issue of, there was a couple lines that burst over the weekend. It looked like, I can show you pictures, but a solid tube of sludge inside the line. So my fear is, unless it's a warm enough day and we try to get all those out, if we leave any moisture in there and it has nowhere to go, we're gonna open up everything. The lot's already been open. It's gonna keep bursting the lines in there. So.
So basically, if you don't get it cleaned out, you're going to have a lot more headaches when it comes to maintenance.
Because right now, we don't have a lot of room to waste, and we have enough time to try and, we actually don't have enough time, but we're making time to try and find those avenues to get rid of it. Because the other tank is almost completely full. We were able to move some sludge, this is how much we had. We were able to move some sludge to the new or old holding tank, the holding tank for our septage. It's now being used to store biosolids. So had to shift it over, and we're holding it in the other holding tank. So the holding tank over here is 705,000 gallons, and the holding tank over here is about 100. So we're storing close to, about 750,000 to 800,000 gallons of biosolids that we need to get rid of. So, mind you, we've been trying to get rid of it as fast as possible this whole year. Been putting to the beds. So, it's just when you're already behind, you're trying to, those beds are a huge detriment. They just don't dry out fast enough. So I have a few ideas for this next year, talking to a few other operators that they've dealt with the same situation. So we're gonna try and implement those for right now. So different ideas for the bio bags we have. Hopefully we can make some gain some ground on that, so.
Appreciate your work on it. Sounds like you're getting us out of the hole, so.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying because we need to get that fixed, but at the same time, I'm trying to work with EPA.
Yep.
And these
I got it.
farmers, they just gotta wait for the response back. They're busy guys, so doing what we can.
I see you got a letter from the Ohio EPA about
Yeah.
the phosphorus that, you guys will just talk about that shortly?
Yeah.
Or briefly.
So we've been feeding every stream in the state of Ohio has an issue with phosphorus. So phosphorus, what it does, phosphorus and sunlight equates to aquatic algae. So that's why we have a limit right now, 1 milligram per liter. So we're required to reduce it to below that in order to meet our F1 limits. So they wanted us to put a plan in place to reduce it to below 1 milligram per liter, even though we already did that. And part of that was because of our last permit renewal, long-term control plan, and all that, all the new stuff that's coming up as a part of the new permit. What I did was, right now we feed alum, which is like a coagulant. It binds the phosphorus molecule to the sludge. So your main way of getting it out of the system is wasting. Like I said, we waste every day to get it out. So we use just that chemical. We can do physical, we can do biological, but right now our chemical is just way more. It's a lot cheaper, at least right now. There's a possibility of doing biological. I mentioned in the report, it's just gonna cost money and I'd have to play with it. But the only factors we don't know is, since this is still a combined sewer, it really doesn't work well in those high flow environments because you have to create an inox zone. We can do it, but our flows aren't that controllable in order to do that. So if we had an airtight system where all we had was residential waste, we could do it, even if it fluctuated a little bit. But we could go in any second from 400,000 gallons to 2 million in a hurry. So we need to be able to control those flows, do it biologically. So my plan was to try and play around with it next year a little bit.
Okay.
I can't guarantee a whole lot, but we'll try. But right now, we already saved a bunch of money switching to alum this year from Fair. We saved half, and it's the same feed rate, so I think the EPA would be happy about that. We're getting good results.
That's good.
So a lot of times I'll add to that too. With your farm fields, since we are combined sewer, so any sort of runoff that gets into those drains, gets down to the plant, we could have an influx of phosphorus. We really don't know. So the more we separate, the better off we'll be.
Okay, thanks for that report. Any other questions? Any questions for me?
I'll have one more thing.
Yes.
We finally got a blower up and running that hasn't been ran in 6 years. Talked to Corey a little bit about this. We found it developed a leak as well. So I'll work with companies to try and work that out, as well as we have another blower we've put in the budget for next year to get fixed. But unexpected, but we'll work through it. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else needs to come before this council?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second,
I'll second that.
roll call.
Barth,
Sure.
Bassett,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Klepper.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.